Yeah, I think everyone. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like everyone's just getting the cars are getting more dialed in. So the guys running well are more consistent, and there's probably less passing because of some of that too. So yeah, I don't think it's all just the car. I think some of it's the fact that we've had the same stuff for a while now, and everyone's getting pretty good.
The news that the championship weekend is going to rotate. Are there any tracks you'd like to see in that rotation going forward?
Honestly, as weird as it sounds, I think Charlotte would be one of the better ovals for a championship race. So Charlotte Oval's gotten really, really tough, really competitive. Homestead's obviously great. Vegas is great. Phoenix is okay. So I think you have 3 or 4 there that you could choose from that are decent climate-wise. There's probably a couple other that you could include here, but the weather is probably a factor in that. So yeah.
Fully double duty driving for Connors Village this weekend. Talk to me a little bit about how trucks may help you get ready for the Cup race, or how you see kind of extra laps on the track as comes to Sundays.
Yeah, I think it's an advantage because you have more chances to learn and grow. So I think it's a big advantage if you use it correctly. You just have to go into it with the right mindset, and hopefully, tonight will be a lot of fun.
What is it from the driver's perspective that you enjoy about this place? Is it as fun to drive as it looks on TV?
Yeah, I think this is probably a driver favorite. I would say I've enjoyed this place. It's a little top groove dominant at times, but certainly a fun place to drive, especially if anywhere that's been repaved. I feel like this place has kind of weathered the best. So yeah, I look forward to coming here. I think it puts on a good show.
With NASCAR now rotating the championship weekend, do you have like a dream lineup of tracks you'd want to see in the rotation?
Honestly, I haven't even really thought about it. This would be a good one, I think. I think the next-gen car races well here, and the guys that are good here are typically good all year. But yeah, there's a lot of great places we go. So hopefully, I know weather kind of gets into the mix with it being in November, but there's a lot of really cool places we can go for sure.
Obviously, he's your teammate, so you want him to do well in the Indy 500. But I mean, do you think that Larson, how he does, can help change the way people think of NASCAR drivers in general? Maybe open wheel fans who they don't really know or they don't really watch NASCAR.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's tricky. I certainly hope he does great, right? Just being friends with Kyle, I hope he does really well. Obviously, I think he's kind of overall probably one of the greatest of our generation. Certainly, up there as far as the greatest have been. So, the IndyCar drivers versus NASCAR drivers thing, that's so tough because it goes both ways, right? We haven't had, Jimmy went over really late in his career, and kind of struggled at times. And typically when IndyCar guys are coming over here, it's been late in their careers and they've struggled. So it's just hard. Anything, I think once past a certain point in your life, it's hard to learn things. So there hasn't been a really good marker to say going back and forth aside from Kyle. And obviously Kyle's just going to be Kyle and be phenomenal either way. So yeah, that's a tough argument to make either way. I think there's really great drivers on both sides of it though.
Only thing I know is that there's a promoter's option, yellow flag. Is that right? Yeah, we'll go try and win.
Christopher, you mentioned your enjoyment here qualifying at this track in particular. I'm wondering, as this track continues to use, just how difficult does that turn to become on the high side? Can you make it another pole yet again?
I feel like we're going to have a good shot at it. It's always just such a fun lap here at Kansas because it is pretty slippery. The track is starting to lose a lot of grip, and it's always right on the edge of can you hold it wide open? Can you not hold it wide open? So you're just using all the racetrack you can, all the banking, all the aero up top. So yeah, it's fun, and I enjoy it, and we've obviously been successful at it. So I feel like we should have an opportunity at a pole today. But with that being said, we haven't sniffed a pole on an intermediate in a long time. So I think here last year was the last one we got. So we'll see where we stack up, but the intermediate stuff has definitely been a little bit of a struggle.
With the with the news that NASCAR's going to rotate the championship weekend, is there like a dream lineup you like to see of tracks in the rotation?
Well, I think I would say the more the better, but I don't really know if that's true. I think you definitely need a couple, and we're obviously limited by weather in the United States. So, Vegas is one that definitely comes to mind that is deserving of it. It makes sense. I think, there's a couple tracks, Vegas, Homestead, Phoenix being three that certainly makes sense to rotate between the championship event. Charlotte would be a great venue. I think you kind of be rolling the dice with weather there, but maybe a day race in Charlotte would be acceptable. I think it's awesome though, and I think it should have happened a long time ago. And I'm glad to hear that we're finally starting a rotation.
Why makes Kansas such a unique track from the other racetracks that you all go to?
Yeah, it's just kind of the perfect blend, especially for this next-gen race car, of progressive banking, asphalt that is starting to wear tires, but it has a lot of grip on new tires, so it allows us to have great restarts, multiple lanes because of the progressive banking. It really is just kind of the dream track for this race car.
My Place Hotels is proud to be the official hotel partner of Frontstretch. With plush beds, in-room kitchens, and pet-friendly hotels, My Place makes for the perfect pit stop when traveling. Frontstretch fans can use promo code Frontstretch to save 10% on your stay at any of our nationwide properties. Sign up for our Stay Rewarded program to get even more savings. With My Place Hotels, don't just stay rewarded.
Tyler, with the news that the championship weekend's going to rotate now, obviously you won here, you won at Homestead. I assume you're excited for Homestead next year, and is there any other tracks you'd like to see in the rotation going forward?
Las Vegas is one that comes to mind. I feel like if weather would cooperate, Charlotte Motor Speedway would be a great one. Obviously, we were just at Phoenix, but it's a good climate for the championship weekend. Outside of that, there's not a whole lot of tracks to choose from in November that will be the right temperature, I guess.
If weather was not an issue, would you have any other tracks you think would be great just racing-wise to host it?
Yeah, Charlotte is one that comes to mind. Outside of that, it's a lot of the tracks that I listed. Charlotte's one, obviously. It'll be really cold in November.
And then this is, I believe this is 2311's first ever race with 4 cars on the grid. How crucial is having, all those teams just for, sharing information and just, just nailing this weekend and the ones after it?
It's a very important, but obviously it's a huge undertaking. A team built for running 3 cars full time. Obviously, we scaled up from the 2 cars last year, so going to 3 full-time was a big adjustment, but I thought the adjustment went well. Then obviously, going to 4 this weekend, it's all hands on deck getting ready for this. So we've got great people in the right places. The preparation all seems good. Coming to a place like Kansas where we've been historically very strong is a nice one to do it.
Thank you, Tyler.
Up there on the top, skiing. But I think it's even a better track, at night. So we would love to see some more Saturday night races here.
NASCAR also announced this week that the finale will go back to Homestead for 2026, but then we'll also start a rotating model for the championship finale. What was your initial response to that decision?
Yeah, I think it's great, and when it moved from Homestead, I thought that was the plan in general. So I don't know how long it's been at Phoenix now, but it seems like a long time. So I'm glad to see it move around. I think it's important to to have that shift and not just be at one track. I think, even if it was every year, it would be fine. I think it would be a good thing. So I would be for that, and I'm excited for the change. I think that it'll be good to rotate it. I'm not sure how often they're doing it. They say
I think it's yearly.
Yearly, okay. Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Are there any particular tracks that you feel like suit a championship style finale?
Yeah, there are certainly some that don't. So the speedways are off the table. For sure, Atlanta would be off the table. in my opinion, now. I think at the end of the day that they kind of have a open box on whatever they want to do, and we have enough of a sample size with the car, for the last few years that I think we should, keyword should, be able to make a very educated decision on what would be the most entertaining from a fan perspective, and also the most rewarding to make sure we're crowning a champion.
Give everybody else a chance. So we decided to try something different, and it didn't work for us. So I myself was very adamant on getting back to where we need to be when we show up to this place. Because when you show up to places that you've had success in, it breeds confidence, right? And when you go into it and you have a lackluster day, like my 2 races last year were, if that, right? It hurts a little bit. So I hope we fire off today where we want to be, back to how it was. But you never know. Nothing's ever the same. No matter how good you have it going, you always have to continue to evolve. And somewhere we got off the path, but we'll hopefully get it back.
It's stall wise. There's been a lot of speeding penalties here in this car, most for any intermediate track. So everyone talks about like, oh, we want pit stall number 1, obviously, because that's open. But have you guys looked at, hey, maybe we want to stall where there's maybe certain hot spots where we could get caught speeding?
Yeah, our engineers definitely science that out. Just about every track we go to, we're looking at stalls where it cancels out the hot zones. So I just go out and qualify the best that I can, and then I deal with the stall that we have. So hopefully they make the right decisions on this. Yeah.
This is I believe this is going to be 2311's first race with 4 Cup cars. Yeah. Has it just pretty much been all hands on deck in the shop this week?
Hey, I wouldn't even say this week. The last month or so. Really, you give. I think this is what, race 12?
Yes.
Yeah. So you give Booty 12 races to work. That's all he's been doing is prepping for this race. So I think it's ramped up this week for sure. I've seen him at the airport this morning, and I was just questioning of who was the crew that he had assembled for this car. And I know it's hard to just run 4 cars full time, but I think it's even harder to do it part time because of the personnel, just the resources aren't fully there. But it's exciting to see. Exciting to see how much growth this team has had in the short 5 years, and so hopefully it all goes well for all 4 of us tomorrow.
And earlier this week it was announced that they'd be rotating the championship race. Do you feel that that's a welcoming news to hear?
Yeah. I think I support that 100%. I know I support that 100%. I think it's a great move. I think it needs to continue to rotate. Obviously, Homestead's pretty much every driver in the field's favorite track, one of their favorite tracks, right? So I said that on an interview this week with Sirius. Like, when you have everybody invested into a racetrack, I think that induces a little bit more intensity on the racetrack, just because we love competing there. So you need to find a couple more tracks that are like that too. But the on-track product has to go with that, right?
Larson, obviously going back to the Indy 500 again, and do you think that you've been on both, open wheel and stock cars? Do you think that he's representing NASCAR drivers? Like, do you feel like you're invested in his success because if he does well, people like open wheel fans might say, "Oh, those NASCAR guys!"
No, I think Larson's just a badass. So if you don't really know who Kyle Larson is, you're probably not that much of a motorsports fan. So. It gives us somebody to root for on this side, I guess. But, I still have friends over there. So for me, it doesn't really change the matter of fact. But it's just cool to see because, that race is special and you want the best in the world there. And he's definitely one of them.
Do you support the change to make the championship weekend a rotation? And is there any tracks you'd like to see in that rotation for the next couple of years?
The Roval. No, I'm just joking. Like, we have to get there first. I think it's cool. I think it. I don't really put a lot of stock either way, so I think it's cool to be able to move it around a little bit. I think it's going to be each person has their strengths and weaknesses of which tracks that they want in there. But to me, you got to make it there first, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I think it's, obviously the Super Bowl does it. Home teams go back and forth in other playoffs for their finals. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a good idea for sure.
How do you look at your spot on the playoff bubble right now? You're so close. You could obviously win, but you could also get your way in on points. The way that the season's going with, a lot of repeat winners and stuff like that. How do you view it?
Yeah, I mean, last week was disappointing because I think we had a really strong car. We fought hard that race because the beginning of the race didn't go so well. We had a couple of pit road incidents and just some things that we got kind of tuned up the second half of the race, so that definitely hurt us. But I'll be honest, man, it's like I don't really look at the points that big of a deal. To me, it really is like if we keep running well, we got a shot at it. You don't know what guys are going to be surprise winners, so it's hard to focus on, oh my God, we're 15th, 16th, 18th, 20th, whatever. I just want to keep running well, and I think that's what hurt last week was because I thought, especially the way that race played out, like we were going to have a really good finish, and we had showed that we had speed all weekend, and no fault of our own, but we didn't take advantage of it just because of getting caught up in that incident. So we just got to have weekends like that and finish them off.
Alex Gins for Frontstretch.com. Come back for more great racing content, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.